Hey everyone. Welcome to our mindfulness series. So let's just get right into the practice, okay? So let's go ahead and settle in your own way today. So it's either comfortable or relaxed, upright but relaxed. And then allowing your eyes to close or have a low gaze. If it works to take those deep breaths, I invite you to do that. And then, let's settle. We're just settling our attention here with this little beginning um, practices. And so, does it help to bring your attention to gravity, noticing that heaviness, that pulling to the ground? Or do you like bringing your attention to the sensation of the contact points, feeling your contact of your body to what's holding you up? Just noticing, where is it that your attention generally gravitates toward to settle itself. And so from here, we can just notice our whole body sitting. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Um, First of all, um, what's happening inside of you right now? Like, what do you notice? What experiences are happening? So you could be having lots of thoughts, a racing mind. You might be bored. Maybe you're having an emotion like some irritability, you had a conversation, or some excitement, you're going to do something tomorrow. Um, or you notice a pain in your body, some discomfort somewhere. So there's probably many experiences happening. Maybe you notice some sound outside of somebody's hammering, or some noise that's either pleasant or unpleasant. So there's probably many experiences happening right now in your present moment. And so I'm going to invite you to just pick one. And see if you can notice, like, is this experience, is it pleasant, or is it unpleasant, or is it neutral? There might be some sound out there that's, no, it's not bugging you really, so it's neutral. Or you might be having, that knee injury act up, and you can feel that, and that's unpleasant. Or maybe you're sitting quietly, you're really enjoying a breeze on your face, and that's pleasant. So pick one experience that you like, not something super intense. If you just had a big argument or something, I wouldn't choose that irritation to go for it. Okay, so the second question is, can you be with this experience without doing anything about it? What is that like? So let's take the case of pain. You have some ache, your knee injury is acting up, or you have a tightness in the shoulders or something, right? So maybe you want to move, you want to rub it, you want to, I don't know what, right? You want to do something. But what is it like to just allow it to be exactly like it is right now? And I'm only talking for this moment, for this few moments that we're going to do this practice. This is not about trying to muscle through something or ignore ourselves. This is just what is it like to not do something about an experience for a little bit? Or in the case of, I don't know, the breeze on your face, like it's really nice, right? Maybe, or you're having an experience that's really nice. Or let's say the excitement of something coming new, and you just really want to hurry up and check your watch, see if somebody texted you or about the event or something like that. What's it like to just have that excitement, that pull toward the future, but just let it, just stay here and let it. So it could be very uncomfortable. It could be like, no, I want to do something. I really want to rub my knee. I really want to like check my phone. Yeah, that could be really uncomfortable. It could be neutral. But what is it like? We're just going to be curious. What's it like to not do something about an experience, to let it be exactly as it is without changing it or fixing it or figuring it out? Maybe your mind's trying to make up ways to rehash an argument or a conversation you had. Like, what if it's like, okay, I had that conversation, it made me uncomfortable. I'll just be with the discomfort. So just notice that for a bit. Pick an experience and see what just being with it is like without doing anything. And now, if it gets a little intense, like it's really uncomfortable, you can gently bring your attention back to the beginning where we settled, right? Our nervous system. Because what's happening is as you step into this experience, your nervous system's getting activated. So we have practiced some skills on deactivating the nervous system, settling the nervous system. So you can actually bring your attention from that activation of that experience to the deactivation of the settling. And you can do that for a bit. Notice that you've settled and then go back in. Bring your attention back into that sensation of experience. You know, the irritation or the pain or whatever you were using as your experience to notice and let be. And you can do that as often as you like. Go in, feel a little bit of that activation, and then come out and deactivate a bit. Go back in, or hang with the whole activation. If it's like bearable and it's not pushing you over threshold, hang with it. See what it's like to not do anything about an experience. So we're just practicing being with what's arising right now without reacting to it, with only just noticing it. It's kind of different. Usually we want to do something. Yeah. Just be with it. That does almost doesn't make sense. Okay, so gently, wherever your attention was, bring it back to the sensation of your body sitting, noticing your contact points, noticing the sounds in the room, the sound of my voice, and gently start to come out of it by moving your body, your toes, your wrists, shoulders, whatever. Looking around, allow your neck to move, and when you're ready, come back to the screen. Okay. Hi. So, last second, just how was that? What was that like? That was something different, maybe that you've never done. Yeah. Okay. So, what we practiced was equanimity, and we're going to talk about equanimity. Equanimity is kind of like being calm when things are stressful. And wouldn't we all want a little more of that in this world today? It seems like no one has a lot of equanimity anymore. So we're going to talk about it, how we need it, how it affects our life, where we can use it, how mindfulness relates to it. Yeah? Okay. Okay, so the definition is mental or emotional stability or composure, especially under tension or strain, a calmness, right? But it's especially when things are hard. So other words could be non-reactive. You don't react to things, you don't judge them, you don't strive, means like in that excitement, you don't like go, oh, I want more and more. You just kind of go, oh, wow, I can see that it's pulling me, but I'm just sitting, yeah? Chill, calm, poise, zen, right? All these words, serene, tranquil, and aplum is a word that I never knew, but I've learned that it means calm. But basically, equanimity is being able to remain calm in a difficult situation. And you can see this poor little guy just can't do it, right? This situation is too much for him. Okay, so where can equity can help us too, but where can equanimity help us, right, in our life? And pretty much it's everywhere. So you all take exams, yeah, right? Wouldn't you want some calm, especially depending on what exam, like before that exam and not stress out? Or if you do sports, on team sports, or you have performances like piano recitals or whatever, we could use some equanimity. Parenting, right? When the kids are doing it, like right here's a little baby, but you need it through all the years. The teen years, I found the most. If we're having difficult conversations, we don't want to get heated, right? We want to have some equanimity. Driving, how many of us have equanimity while we're driving in that traffic and people are cutting us off? When we're consuming media, I know that's where I lose most of my equanimity. Like I really get upset, and then you can react, right, and shoot off emails or strange things, right? So we want to have some equanimity, and then at work, whether you're the customer and the server is not being very nice, or whether you're the server and the customer is not acting inappropriately, right? We all would like to have some of this equanimity, and this is so it helps us everywhere to have this skill. So, how does practicing mindfulness, which is bringing our attention to the present moment experience, help us with equanimity? Well, we just did it. Yeah. So, what we did was we settled our attention, right? By getting still, by noticing the sensation of gravity, by taking a couple deep breaths, noticing our contact points, right? Or looking around if that was one of your places that calm you. So, we settle our attention first. Then we notice what's happening inside, right? And as we saw, probably there's lots of different things. Some are neutral, some are pleasant, some are unpleasant. You pick one, this is the practice, and then you just allow that to be. You probably watch your mind talk to itself and say, oh, this should be different, right? So you just notice, well, when I sit here and allow this to be exactly as it is, my mind is trying to fix it. I have the urge to move. I have the urge to react, right? And but we just allow it to be, right? And sometimes that's a blessing because we don't have to react, right? Sometimes we can actually get relaxed and say, you know what, just for this 5 minutes, I don't have to do a darn thing about that. Phone's ringing, I don't got to pick it up, right? So you can notice. So it's a practice in allowing the moment, our experience, to be as it is. And then, of course, if it gets too intense, then we practice moving our attention to a calmer place for a minute until our nervous system settles. Then we move it back to the intensity and we work with that and back and forth. And we're learning how to be with difficult emotions. We're actually kind of priming our system to be able to allow more and more intense experiences without reacting. When you do that, two things happen, right? First of all, because of neuroplasticity, you remember that video I showed you, I think like the third week, right? We create a new pathway and we're able to be more equanimous more often, right? So you see in the old habit, we're used to reacting, and then we try something different, like we did in this practice, which was just allow some experience to be as it is without doing anything. And we do that over and over, and then it creates a new habit to where the old habit, the reacting, is not even in the picture anymore. We just have some equanimity. The second thing that happens is it allows us to understand a bigger picture, a more accurate picture of the way things are. So what we understand when we stay with something, and you can practice with an itch or with a pain or with an emotion, is that the thoughts pass, the emotions pass, the sensations pass. You can be with it without reacting. It's not personal. So as you're just sitting with this experience, letting it be, you're watching a whole bunch of other stuff happen, which is that, wow, that experience is changing. And actually now I'm not as stressed out anymore. I don't even care about it anymore. How come 3 minutes ago I was so worried about this thing and now I don't? So that you get the capacity and the understanding and the confidence that, you know what, maybe I don't have to react all the time. So not only are you changing your brain not to react, but you're also teaching yourself that reaction, you don't even have to. Like things could turn out okay all by themselves. So I get this question a lot, which is like, so does that mean I just let everything bad happen? All my pain, I don't go to the doctor, I don't, something happens in the street. No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about meeting your inner experience. And we totally want to do things that in outer, if we see some injustices or something wrong, or we can help somebody, we want to take action there, right? But we're talking about our inner experience, and the cool thing is that the better we are at responding to our inner experience, when we don't have to react there, then we get wiser. What happens is that survival brain hooks up to that thinking brain again, and now we're running with all of our understanding, and then we can decide what change to do. Where is a skillful action to help out the cause that we want, right? Is it good to just go and bonk somebody in the head at a protest that gets mad at us? I don't think so, right? But unless we know how to be with our own inner experience, we might do that. When we learn to be with our inner experience, we slow down, and maybe we can choose some wise, uh, speech to say something that's helpful, that kind of thing. Yeah. So equanimity is about practicing with the capacity to be with our inner experience, the emotions, the sensations, the thoughts, as it is, without fixing it, without changing it, without figuring out, without needing it to be different, just for the moments that we're practicing. And the benefits are just so much, right? You can see it helps manage stress, right? We don't have to react, right? Okay, so here comes this big test. You know what? I know that my fear of tests comes and then it goes, and I'll be fine, right? And we can make clearer decisions because our survival brain is hooked back up to that thinking brain, and now they're talking to each other. So therefore, we can respond more skillfully. We have greater compassion, because if you can be with difficult things like a pain or a irritable emotion, you can do that for your friends, for your children, right? If your children come in and they're like, I don't like my teacher, they did something to me, and you're just like, oh, be quiet, you just react, you can slow down and say, oh, I'm sorry, that is hard to be with something like that, right? You learn compassion for yourself being with difficult things, and you're able to give that to other people. And so increased patience, which goes with contentment and happiness, right? And then so all in all, it's a self-care tool, a freedom. You get freedom from having to react. We don't have to react to so many things. That's been the biggest gift that I've learned in this mindfulness, because I reacted to everything. I was anxious, and everything had to have a response and a reaction, and I had to fix it, and I had to do it now. And now it's like, whoa, tons of things like resolve on their own, even our own inner feelings. Like we don't have to think them out or do all kinds of stuff. So take the time to slow down, be with your inner self and not react to it, and see what happens. Okay, let me just escape from here. Stop sharing. Okay. So, yeah. So equanimity. So this practice that we did, um, it's so helpful. You learn, and then that question that I always get, which is, how can I calm down? It's We don't calm ourselves down. We actually practice being calm when things are stressed out, and then we get good at it. It's like practicing riding your bike on a bumpy road, right? We don't know that in the beginning, but when we practice, then we get good at it. So the road doesn't have to change its bumps. We've gotten good at riding it. Okay, so I hope that's helpful, and have a good week. Let me know in the comments if there's any questions, or email me, and I look forward to next week. Thanks. Bye bye.